Come on, get in there, Twirty. Give me the rope. Come in. Hoop. Greasing off. Watch me tight, Joe. Oh, nice. As you begin to climb on rocks, you begin to find that there are specific movements that you must use for the vertical surface. Like if you were things like keeping your center of gravity in place. So if you're like, you can't be like totally hugging the rock, like, oh man, I'm gonna fall off kind of stuff. You have to relax and kind of stand out and move as gently and as controlled as possible. Always putting something exactly where you want it. Chalk up, kind of hang out. Score darts out of the way, and keep climbing up. You climb for the sheer joy of movement on a vertical surface. Try and move as gracefully as possible. Avoid big dynamic kind of lunges. Really work with your feet and just relax. I mean, it's ideal to just kind of be as smooth, be as graceful, make it look as graceful as possible. If you're consciously being concerned about how graceful it looks, then you'll just climb better. When you climb, it's just climb for fun and just relax. And you don't want to try and be like you don't want to do that kind of stuff. Like looking around like you just want to relax and be as calm as possible, as controlled as possible, and just kind of hang in. Not that big of a deal. Just move smooth. All this kind of stuff. I mean, it's not like it's school. You have to like worry about grades, that kind of stuff, because grades are pretty much of the devil anyway. I don't know. I like being an instructor, especially BRU, but it's very, very frustrating because you have to play the grading game. And so it's like, in my opinion, all grades monitor is just diligence, not intelligence. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It just depends on how well you can assimilate something and just regurgitate it back. And you kind of make it look nice and you turn it in, so you turn it into your grade. So look, regurgitated it within the parameters the teacher has set. Consequently, I will get an A. That kind of stuff's just a bunch of crap to me. The same kind of stuff applies to a lot of the psychology that teachers attempt to use. Those teacher evaluation forms, I mean, Hitler scores higher than anyone else on those. I took some of those, did one for Hitler and Aristotle, and for myself. I was the lowest. Aristotle was next to low, being me, and Hitler won. He was the guy. He got the best ratings. That kind of stuff is all pretty much foolish. When I teach at BYU, I have a lot of students. They're pretty excited about it and that kind of stuff, but they come to me kind of as repellers. They've repelled once or twice in their life, and they think it's really exciting. And and the first question they ask is, yeah, you in the blue shirt. Well, are we going to be doing any rappelling in the class? And it's like, no, we won't be doing any rappelling. Rappelling is akin to like putting hot metal on your groin. And rappelling is, sorry, can I not say that or something? Or maybe you should edit that out. But it's like, the analogy is rappelling is to climbing. The punting is to football. I doubt, like, football players call each other up like, hey, Bob, what time are you free today? 7? Great. I'll bring the ball and the goalposts. I'll see you at 3. Or whatever. And they get out there and they get the ball. They do a couple, and they punt after a couple times. And then it's like, this kind of sucks. And they have to go back and they sit down. Rappelling is the same way. In football, people punt when they're in trouble. They haven't quite made the touchdown or whatever they make in football. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in climbing. If you screwed up or if you can't get down by any other way or something, then you set up a rappel. It's dangerous. It's scary, and in my opinion, it's just pretty kind of asinine to just go out and seek joy through rappelling. There are, like I said, there are really no great psychological things that, oh yeah, I will be, it's like male bonding, that kind of stuff in climbing. It just doesn't happen. You just try and be relaxed, and it's controlled, and it's just fun. It's not like, well, obviously he climbs because as a child he was abused by his father that was exceptionally tall, and he feels like he must conquer height to be worthwhile because his father abused him. His father was so large, just like the Rock. And he has this Freudian problem that he has a problem with his, well, never mind, but like that kind of stuff, I think pretty useless. Not only in life and that kind of junk, it's just not worthwhile to try and dichotomize and label and find meaning in everything. There is no essential or unequivocal meaning in climbing. It's just fun. All these guys that like go and visit like the things in South America, they're like, wow, what do you suppose this means? I would love to just wait and find out it's a bunch of just delinquent Incas, just like with spray paint cans. Spray, it's like says, you know, screw the king, or something like that, instead of these great religious articles and artifacts. I think a lot of that stems from the perception that psychology or that the psyche controls things, and there's inherent meaning and invisible type of inferences to be discovered and found. And I don't think that's true, and it's really frustrating for me as to see how that's beginning to creep in to climbing, and how a lot of that is just less than ideal. Another big fallacy that really kind of annoys me about climbing is that, well, man's innate ability from prehistoric times forces them to climb. Yeah, right. So, like, there's a bunch of people, all climbers like them. Yeah, I think I'll be doing some climbing today. Where's my backpack? Let's go find some rocks. I had a girl come ask me the other day specifically why I climbed. And I couldn't give her any like trendy answers like, well, it's because I want to become one with the environment. There are often times when I find myself floating through space undirected, and I climb to this great cathartic kind of thing and make my karma one with, you know, nirvana. That's a bunch of crap. In my opinion, I just climb because it's fun. I like it. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just fun.